great to be back here. We will discuss about roadmap items. It's going to be a short one. I only have 30 minutes. We have an AMA on our Discord. If you're watching this on YouTube or X, do join our Discord if you're interested in just trading. If you're not interested in trading, obviously it's just not for you. And as we do for every stream, we'll discuss about markets. We'll discuss about the 100K to a million challenge while doing the market overview, and then discuss about the roadmap items and also before that, we'll talk about hype and the thesis I've put out. So first, the market yesterday. On yesterday's stream, but I've also shared that on here, that I closed the trade that we were running yesterday. That I've closed at, I think, 68K or something. You actually have the log here. Yeah, 68,530. This, by the way, is replicating my hyperliquid address. So I'm replicating the trades live here on this address. I don't usually, I don't use hyperliquid so much, just because of custody things, but I will rewind the challenge back to the equity on hyperliquid, so there's one-to-one replication, and the address is here. That's where I've traded. I've traded there for 2 months, so I don't have a lot of data, but we have about 800K of P&L, I think all time 867K of P&L. It's not me flexing, it's just, I guess it's just my address. And that's the only address that I think is known to the public. So that's the only thing I'm comfortable to share today. So we did TP the BTC trade, and I've shared on Discord. So if you want to have an edge on the discussion, there is I've shared basically this trade, which is exactly talking about what we discussed on the stream. I usually don't take a lot of trades, but it just so happened that the move yesterday was pretty intense, and we have interesting findings from yesterday. So basically, exactly, played out how we discussed, but we had a rally that was led by spot CVD. So spot was leading, which is a very first time we saw this on the market on a rally, and you had basically a squeeze. So OI dropped a lot, and then CVD was rallying, and that was the ETF buying. I think if you look at far side is where you have the ETF flows. You had 100 mil, 150 mil, and then on BTC you had 500 mil. So plus you had big moves on MSTR, coin, crypto stocks overall. So a big rally, I would say. I think there's definitely something to be optimistic about. It's the first time we saw something of the sort, and I just really good to see. But the thing is, in crypto, you don't want to have your emotions run over you so much. And what we said is we just assume that this is a range until proven otherwise. So my trade here, what is that trade? Is I'm basically, let's get rid of some of that. And I'm basically doing my invalidation is it's a trade of that perspective. I think as far as stops are concerned, I don't usually have strict stops because I don't do high leverage. And the thing is, you can be wicked, and so I really take candle closes as my invalidation. Is what I said on Discord is I want to see 3 4-hour candles closing and closing above the 70K, and then if I see aggressive CVD, aggressive spot in the US session, I would typically just close the trade because I do think then we can squeeze higher. As far as your levels, you have the 4-hour 200 EMA, which is at 74 or 73, sorry, K, which would be the first time in since mid-Jan that we are over that, and then you would have momentum traders pile in, and so the thing is, if you accept 70, you'll probably at least tag that and get that liquidity over it. So the way I view it at the moment is you want to have this straight invalidation at 70, and then wait for the market to do whatever it wants above 70. Go to 72, 74. And then if you see a breakdown from like 72 back to 70, then take that short. If not, then potentially play the long side. But I think playing the long side is, it's going to be just a different trade, a very different trade. So we'll just take it, day by day. And but Thursday, I usually don't have positions open on weekends. I only have shorts open on weekends, never longs, because it's one of my learnings on the year, like through the years. But you should never trade on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday even, or at least not be long. 10-10 was on I think it was on a Friday. Every fuckery we had was always between Friday and Monday, like the big liquidation cascade, because that's where you can manipulate the most. And so you never, unless it's aggressively trending, and then that's different. But when you're in the downtrend and when you're Friday through Monday, never have longs open. Because the EV of opening a long on Friday, just mental headspace, etc., just makes no sense. So it's either I get stopped out there, or I just keep the short through Monday, and then we take it as it is. But I won't be able to take a long. Even if you accept like 74 or whatever, I won't be able to flip long until Tuesday probably. It's just my system and how how I do things. We've shared this 100K to million page, so you can see the positions we have opened. There, and then trade history. I'm not gonna talk about the pump position. Was a very low time frame stuff, and I closed that for like 1%. So since we don't have one-to-one replication with the hyperliquid address, that has to be revised down because it doesn't account for the fees and funding rates, or the funding fees. So it's a bit biased. I just backfill that over time. But you see the positions live, and that's updating in real time. And every time I close a trade, so for example, the pump thing you see is you had rationale for it. I have a dashboard where I just update the trades, and the dashboard is telling me the positions I have on Hyperliquid, and I can just say copy that trade with that notional, and then just does it. So, the timing horizon, like some can say, hey, you have 36% performance in in 5 days. I would say, win rate today is like 100%. 3 winning trades will have a lot of losing trades, and I don't want to. You might think that I'm opening a lot of positions, but I usually take 1 trade a week max, because I honestly don't have the time, and I'm not like a day trader. It's more so I wait for the markets to basically come to me, and I prefer to trade ranges than. Ranges are easy to trade, especially in a downtrend like we are today. So it doesn't take much of headspace. When we are in complete mania on alts, I would take a lot of trades, and that's when you have like few weeks to be really locked in. Today is not the day. If we tag 74, maybe, but today is not the day, and assumption is that we do just that. I think there's one stat I saw on X just before that is the Bitfinex. That's this one, I think. Is the Bitfinex longs. Interesting fact is these guys, although you had very supportive spot, yesterday you had these guys hammering the books. Is that a strong signal? Honestly, I don't know, because these guys were like long only through the downtrend. It's just something that's not worthy, not something I'm using for my trading and for confidence. It's the easiest thing to do now is basically treat that as a range and have no emotion tied to it. We'll move on to a different topic now, which is the trading thesis. So I wanted to share some views I hold for, if it's multi-week views, I'd be comfortable sharing it on an article. If it's a view that won't be valid the week after, I don't think this is super relevant. And yeah, basically the thesis here is that you can go check it out, but like the view is that basically this point is like bear market vol death is not good for Hyperliquid as a business, and this coupled with the fact that Hyperliquid is overowned tells me that it's one of the, to me it looks like one of the easiest short on the market. I have to say you had better shorts yesterday. I took a hype short. I think AV was a much wiser choice. It is what it is. I honestly just fumbled that pretty hard. Like execution was really bad. I think AV was just a much better play, but we'll take it as a learning. And you can read the thesis. And the cool thing is I've added live data, so you can see when I've formulated that thesis, what was the price and what's the price now. And you can see that this thesis is active. So it's a way in which you basically go through my mind in why I'm taking such a short and such opportunity in the market. And I'm not outright short hype. This is not outright short hype. It's hype versus BTC. Because as I said, like being naked short, like I'm short here, but it's we're talking about days, and on a multi-week, like being short, naked short when stuff is down 50% is to me pretty retarded. So I think over BTC short hype, like my view is that there's nothing too exciting between now and the summer. So I think hype is going to drift down. But I have to say, hype is going to be my top spot holding end of the year. I've traded this asset a lot. April 2025. Even just recently on a rally, I was pretty. We discussed about this on Discord. So you can expect to have more of these views. While I'm on it, I'm also going to talk about a project which is called Power, which is in my opinion, very scammy price action, and I want to say that it can be very tempted to short this stuff. But I have a tool for this that's coming probably this weekend to tell you how to take advantage of those situations. But I saw some folks on Discord trying to short Power, and I think it's a bad idea, mostly because clearly that stuff is manipulated, or there is 200k in liquidity on chain, so like the spot market's just basically inexistent, and you have everyone that tried to short got squeezed insanely hard, and funding rates are, come on, it's like people are paying 15% every 8 hours, which is just silly. So this is outright fuckery. There's no other way to put it. So there's in that sense, like there's no way you can actually trade this, and you should never trade a coin that's doing high volume with high funding rates, or you might just get lucky, but at this point this is just gambling. I think this coin is going to go to 90 minus 95%, 98% in the next half a year or next year. So there shouldn't be any temptation to short this now, unless you have, economics just don't make sense. Unless, if I had the possibility to short this with positive funding rates, I would do it. But as it stands, it's just way too risky. And you have when you see a scam like this, and if the team looks at this stream, I'm sorry, but that's my opinion, and I'm potentially wrong. But when you see something like this, like MIX, for example, MIX was, you can argue the same thing, and you have a lot of time to short this stuff. If you really feel like shorting it, you have the time, like when the vol goes down, it's a very comfy short, and it's not gonna be, you'll definitely miss the entire, like that move, you'll miss that move, but you can still take some very free shorts. We're talking about 30, 40, 50% drawdown with actual risk management in place, whereas here you're just basically gonna get omega squeezed. Even Power could go to $10. It's crypto, stuff is pretty crazy. So you definitely want to be careful there. Now let's talk about products. We have our first AMA today. I'm not going to talk about products. We're not going to go some vibe. Sorry, we're not going to do some vibe coding today, but we'll discuss a bit more about the roadmap and where we stand today. Q1 is we have the paper trading engine ready. You can actually go to appbeta.proper. You'll see the landing page is sorry, it's not this one. We've just deployed it recently. Sorry, just give me a sec. we've actually just like changed the URL, so that's why and that's on my different laptop. Yeah, sorry. It's app.beta.proper. That thing you shouldn't be paying attention to. We'll replace that. We have one of our designers that's out of office, but we'll get through. And we are, just the paper engine system works. To test the platform, I mean, we have a QA team. So QA is going to start next week with the community. And then we will have a trading competition once we see things are stable. Trading competition is, we have to lock in the price pool specifically. But the trading competition is going to be as a way for us to incentivize people to use the platform and for us to stress test the environment and to do some community building. About community building, that's where we are now, and the reason why I'm doing streams is just for that. We're doing like the OG badge that we've discussed about. By the way, you can still claim yours at ProprXYZ/claim. The blog post, everything that we've published on Discord so far, that's what we call community building. We've integrated the equities, so HIP3, into the paper trading engine. We've developed the developer API so that from the get-go people can use the platform through bots or AI agents. We've created the account evaluations and risk management system, so the ability to cut a trade if that's within the drawdown limits. And we've implemented Stripe, but that's a very small thing. And that's for Q1. So Q1 being, now to basically like 4 or 5 weeks. We also have the seed round that we've discussed about. If you're interested, you can register your interest in this. On the launch specifically, so we will do in the first part of Q2, so around April, we will do a closed beta funding program. And here specifically, it's going to be only through what we call B booking. So in prop firm, you have both A booking and B booking. A booking being that we deploy the capital on Hyperliquid. In our case, B booking is we basically don't deploy real capital, but we enforce the payouts. We will do it because the Hyperliquid integration is likely not going to be finalized by April, and we will also not we want to have algorithms for us to know how to best deploy capital depending on the trader types. And we want to go through this phase where we don't want to take capital risks. Like, let's say we do a funding program and we grant like 100K to a very good trader and just runs it up to 400K. We would take such a big hit on the treasury. So we want to develop systems internally to help us understand how we allocate capital between A to B booked traders. And we will share this transparently. On-chain payouts, Hyperliquid integration, KYC. Through Q2, we'll have the A to AB booking algorithm. So basically deciding how much balance sheet risk we take per traders. And it's I guess this is the core of the business model of a prop firm, and you want to get it right. And at the end of the day, this is all about risk management and growth. So if you grow too fast and you don't have the great risk management parameters, then you'll have such a big hole on your balance sheet. And so you want to make sure, that's why we have this closed beta funding program with only 100 traders. KYC stuff that you'll see continuously, and that's what we will talk about on the streams, is the improved platform UX. Just want to make sure the platform is looking mint. Best platform, best string terminal possible. Things like having access to the funding rates, like aggregate funding rates, the CVD data, the liquidation data, access to the tools we're building internally on the trading terminal. We'll really try and build it as best as we can. We'll have an affiliate program. We actually already have it, but that's when we'll scale the program. We will do another financing round to better accelerate our growth. Today it's designed at 1 million, might be more. Roadmap items are subject to change based on just how the business is doing. And small things like multi-language support, advanced trading analytics. And then Q3, that's where we have more the scaling. And that's when we have incentive programs in proper. I guess that's where we really expand as a firm and take on more risks. It's also justified with the bridge round. Realistically, some of these items might happen earlier. It depends on basically how we see traders perform and how much of our, like the algorithm for A to B booking, how this is progressing, because that will dictate how much capital we can put at risk. There will be another model that will allow us to scale a lot, which is what we call the community-funded capital model. As if we develop a good enough booking algorithm, so to understand like whom should you back, then enable the community to actually seed USDC and get receive the payouts. That would allow us to scale a lot more. Some other products, like the ability to trade through AI agents that we would build internally. Some items like proof of skill NFTs. So if you're a very good trader, you would have your badge, and then eventually that could compose with other DeFi platforms, like lending protocols, or like basically building your reputation. And the token launch. And then phase 4 is really the more longer term goals. One being an HIP3 deployer. It depends on many different aspects, available treasury that we have and growth of the business, but that's where we want to go. Diversify across multiple different dexes. So being able to offer multiple different products, more liquidity, and spread out our risks. Mobile app, and then Polymarket prop firm. That's really, not for. I don't think this is for this year. We've got so much more to cover yet, but this is an overview in the roadmap we have at the moment. And that is actually going to be it for today's stream, because I have quite some meetings just after that. And I have to prep the AMA, and that's it. So very short stream for today. I hope you liked it. Regardless if you watched this on YouTube or Twitch, you can do the normal stuff like subscribing, liking if you like the content, also commenting, like give suggestions. I know quality things are pretty crude, but we do it as we I'm basically just not preparing this, opening it, and then that's it. So cheers everyone, and I see you tomorrow. And don't forget to join our Discord if you want to keep in touch.